Meine Art des Architekturmachens oder
My
Erfindens
way of inventing architecture always begins with a strong image, not just an
mit einem
idea.
starken Bild, nicht nur mit einer Idee, also es ist immer eine Idee.
The idea is always accompanied by a powerful image and the visualization of a bodily or physical event.
Physikalischen Ereignisses.
It's not an abstract idea.
Abstrakte Idee. Und diese ersten Bilder, die sind
These first images are naive in an almost childlike way.
naiv.
I love
Sind
them.
mir auch lieb. Und dann im ganzen Weg der
During the
Entwicklung
whole process of the building's development, I make sure that this image becomes architecture.
schauen, dass auf der einen Seite das geschieht automatisch, dieses Bild entwickelt sich
A self-defining form of architecture.
eigentlich in seiner eigenständigen Architektur. In diesem Fall war die erste Idee,
In this particular case, the first idea was to open up the mountain and create a quarry, thereby imaging a quarry where blocks of stone still remained, and where you could dig down.
von oben nach unten hören.
You could also dig to the side, and what remains are roofs or fragments of roofs.
Dachpartien stehen.
The facade, with its alternating full and empty spaces, reveals the construction style of the building as a whole. It's made up of 15 or so simple units, stone parallelepipeds. These units are all different. Each one has a large outcropping roof section. The overhanging concrete slab is held in the horizontal position by metal cables that carry the strain to the ground. The tie beams are invisible, cast in a second layer of concrete or held in concrete between two layers of stone in the unit walls. The roofs covering the whole developed site fit together like a puzzle, while the smaller units beneath them don't quite fill the whole surface area. The freed space allows for movement throughout the building. The units also form the facade. None of the roof sections touch each other. The pieces of the puzzle are separated by 8-centimeter gaps. Glass joints protect the building from any infiltration. Inside the building, this creates a dual impression. The roof seems very heavy, yet each section of it, edged by lines of light, seems to float in midair. In each unit, Peter Zumthor has created a surprise. Firstly, through the intimate volumes that contrast with the bulky aspect of the exterior. Then, through the use of color, with tinted concrete for the walls and a terrazzo floor that breaks with the gray stone of the main body of the building. And finally, through a relationship with water that is unique each time, the architect creates a single sensation in each block. For example, heat, in other words 42 degrees centigrade, the temperature of the water on the skin, is associated with the color red. In the other units, you can find swirling water, water with flower petals. You can taste the water, listen to the music of the stones, have a steam bath, or take a cold plunge at 14 degrees. From one block to the next, the spa's users invent their own itinerary and discover all the experiences of water in a freely chosen order.
Architektur hat einen Körper und dieser Körper
Architecture has a body.
ist physikalisch.
This body is physical. It is present. What interests me is concrete architecture.
Konkrete Architektur. die virtuelle Architektur auf Papier oder im
Virtual
Fernsehen
architecture on
oder so, die
paper or on a
interessiert
screen,
mich
it doesn't
wenig oder
interest
eigentlich
me.
überhaupt nicht. Oder vielleicht als Idee oder so. Also ich finde es unglaublich, Räume zu haben.
Or as an idea, perhaps, I find it incredible
mit
to
einer
have
bestimmten
spaces that have
Präsenz und
presences or
Stimmung, die sind dann
atmospheres
umgeben
that are
von
surrounded with
bestimmten
specific
Materialien und
materials,
das
where the shell
Gehäuse.
of the building is like an
Das ist dann
instrument.
wie ein Instrument.
Using these 5-meter-high units, the architect creates a landscape of cliffs and fault lines, alignments of volume out of scale with human size. These vast stone walls are not blank, smooth blocks. The methodical stacking of slabs of different heights forms them. 60,000 carved stones, 1 meter long, 60 kilometers of stone. Each bed of stone runs the length of the building at the same height. Each slab seems to have a different thickness. The order in which they are stacked could seem haphazard. This is merely an illusion. It's actually the arrangement of 3 elements of varying thickness, but whose total is always 15 centimeters. The permutations in the order of these elements are enough to create great visual variety without necessarily complicating construction. Peter Zumthor has created a vast symphony in stone, but the body of man marks out its time. Smaller than these huge cliffs, we are reassured by these thin layers of stone that we could grasp in our hands. Much more than an artistic effect, it's a staging effect, the staging of our position in the scale of the universe. By repeating this confrontation that places us almost naked before the spectacle of the mountains, the architect forces us to face what surpasses us.